Ronald, it's really good to see you, and thank you very much for agreeing to be interviewed by me. Could you please start by telling us who you are, what's the name of your firm, and where you come from?
My name is Ronald Bwosi. The name of our firm is Ronalds LLP, that is the Kenyan entity, but we have now registered a new entity, Ronalds East Africa. Until June this year, I've been the managing partner of Ronalds LLP, the Kenyan entity. But beginning July this year, I'm the head of Ronalds East Africa, which is the practice that handles Kenyan, Uganda, Rwanda, and Tanzania countries, the East African region.
Great, thank you very much for that. And what advantages do you think BKR gives your firm in terms of business?
Okay, in terms of business, the first thing I will say is now, actually, it's almost around 3 years exactly. It's because we joined BKR 2017.
That's right, for London.
So about 3 years exactly since we joined BKR, and we have had such a remarkable partnership. The first thing is the announcement alone that we joined BKR, that really helped us because most of our clients got more confidence in us, because if a global entity has confidence in us, then it increased a lot of clients' confidence in our firm. We were able to get more services offerings to our clients because of increased inquiries, because it was actually breaking news. The other thing is because of that, we were also managed to attract a significant international clientele, especially companies that are looking to expand into Africa and basically East Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, and Tanzania. We've been approached now more than often, especially when they go to our website and realize that we have international affiliations. The company has attracted such a clients more than before. The other aspect of it is we have also gotten some referrals from the BKR member firms, especially in London. We have gotten a significant referrals from Blick Rothenberg, and we have actually most engagements with them on various inquiries that they need to be done. And also we have had some collaborations with the American firms and the South African firms. So that also has been a very good aspect of that. And that is how the BKR network association has actually impacted our business.
That's great. I'm delighted to hear that. And how has activity in your firm been since the COVID crisis started?
Yeah, thank you, Tim, for that question. And I always want to say, maybe try to explain a bit of what happened with the outbreak of COVID, especially for us when we announced our first cases around March. Actually, most of us, including myself, we went into a lot of the fear zone. What I will say, we were scared, a bit, really, really terrified because of the uncertainties that will come out or will arise because of the COVID-19. Especially when we are looking at the media and having a perspective of what has happened globally, we all went into a lot of fear and we didn't know what to do. So the company, we closed down, and for more than 1 or 2 weeks, we were just not doing much, just now trying to see how it's going to be, how we are going to be safe. And that's why hardly 2 cases just announced. Now, after 2 weeks, we announced a slow comeback to the office, because we had said, okay, fine, this COVID-19 is like it's something that has come to stay, because the numbers were increasing. So we got from the fear zone now into the learning zone, whereby we started now learning how do we now use the cloud media like Zoom. How do we deepen our engagements, even on online activities with even our clients. Now we were actually now called upon to firm up our cloud engagements. Of course, as a firm, we started earlier, probably around 5 years ago, to deal with a cloud accounting, especially Zero. Also, luckily, we had implemented Caseware, the cloud system, We had a workflow management system that is called Jetpack, that is cloud-based, but we had not been very serious about the implementation of these tools and platforms. So actually, this COVID-19 situation came in as a catalyst of change. And we were forced now to learn on how to embrace these tools and incorporate them in our work to make things keep on moving. And then now from there, now we went into what I'll call the refreezing zone. So around June, July, now we got the art of now working on the cloud, maintaining social distance and trying to keep ourselves safe, at the same time delivering results. And we were lucky, and by July, we were giving some staff bonuses over and above their salaries, which for us, I think we count it as a very, very a good achievement, because we gave bonuses in the midst of COVID-19. But again, because we actually took the learning stage positively and now managed to adapt through a refreezing stage, and that has worked very well for us. I was telling my team around sometimes in July that if there was any trophy to be given on those who had survived COVID-19, especially when it was really at the heart of it in around May and June, probably we will have gotten the trophy. But the only problem we have is we don't know the end. We are still in the game.
Yeah.
The final whistle is not yet blown yet that COVID is over. So at least we managed to survive through that COVID-19 strategy. Yeah, but the only challenge now we have is the uncertainties that characterize this situation, because it keeps on having different faces, and the dynamics are quite different. So that is now what we're dealing with. For how long?
Yeah.
But actually, now we have adapted the COVID-19 strategy. Now, last 2 weeks, we reviewed the COVID-19 strategy and incorporated it within our corporate strategy, because it is like it is no longer a temporary situation. We don't know when the vaccine will trickle down here and just normalize the situation. So we had to revisit our strategy and incorporate COVID-19 as a special element that is going to stay with us here for a long. So in terms of things like social distancing, cloud engagements, it's not going to go away anytime soon.
Yeah. And you've answered a lot of this already, but what changes have you made to your business practices?
Yeah, thank you. Some of the changes that we've made, as I said earlier, is now deepen our cloud collaborations and cloud working space. Audit, now we had to firm up. It was like, now you have to know how to use a Caseware cloud, or you no longer have a job. So we had to change that. It has to be now forceful and more deliberate now than as just an option. Of course, the accounting, as I said, we had already moved it to cloud. We had firmed up the zero cloud account online accounting system. The workflow management, now we became more serious on it in terms of using some tools like Jetpack, which is very, very remarkable in terms of managing the work. But the biggest change that we made is the leadership strategy. Because initially, leadership was when you see people physically and they feel the timesheet, that's only the confirmation that they are working. But the leadership strategy, we have changed tremendously, because now it is no longer about physical presence, but it's more of task-oriented. We want to see activity-based performance management rather than time-based performance management. So we have actually changed the performance measurement from time-based to more of activity-based, and trying to question people more of what they have done and minimize the supervision, because people working from home, you cannot micromanage them, but you can merely manage them on certain jobs and tasks that you have given to them. And we find that to be more sustainable than even initially when we were looking at people's physical presence as to mean that they are working. So that has really, really changed those two aspects: cloud engagement, leadership strategy to just manage the client. At the same time, the other aspect of it is we had to do a risk assessment based on our client portfolio. There are those industries that have been hard hit. So we shifted from that to industries with the low risk mostly. If you look at the hospitality industry, the travel industry has been hardly hit. So we shifted more to other industries that the business were booming, especially the retail industry, the home appliances industry, those kind of distributors. Their businesses were booming. So we've had such clientele. Now we had to farm up things like internal audit and risk. As of course, other even service portfolio was changed because people now are looking for more risk management and process review rather than the traditional services like audit. Yeah, so we shifted both our focus both in terms of the clientele, at the same time the service offerings. So advisory was more now sought for than the traditional audit services.
Yeah, that makes lots of sense. And how have you been interacting with other BKR members during this time?
Yeah, so in terms of interaction with the BKR members, mostly it's been social media. We've had a number of Zoom calls, especially with the BKR members. We've had email collaborations and handling various inquiries on emails. Of course, we miss the African meeting, we miss the mayor meeting, the global meeting, but we have actually maintained that collaboration through social media platform, which has not been as remarkable as it should be, but serves the purpose for now.
Great. And is there anything else BKR can do to help you at this time?
Okay, I think the most important thing now for me, I will look at BKR is especially on employee training. As a practice, we have a lot of challenges on training employees now, especially with the social distance. If BKR could come up with online tools to train employees, there are the soft skills training and also leadership training, of course, and also audit training, especially for the MEA region, whereby we all use the international standards on auditing and trying to farm up our audit score. You might find some uniform online trainings that might be a bit difficult for one firm to afford, especially development of those training tools and deployment. But as BKR, if we are associated firms, we could come up with the tools that are able now to help our employees have self-paced learning, which are cloud-based. And this is actually going to reduce our training costs. Because even in spite of this pandemic, people need to build their capacities because clients are continually demanding the best from us. Yeah, and this has been a big challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that. And looking ahead to 2021, what are your priorities for business in 2021?
As you're aware, Tim, our farm is a growing farm. We've not yet, we have a lot of room for improvement. As Noah, the managing partner, will always say that the biggest room is the room for improvement. So actually, currently we have a priority to solidify our presence in East Africa. We've completed the incorporation in Uganda, gotten the necessary licenses in Rwanda. I'm actually now charged to ensure that we are operationalizing in Tanzania, which is a bit difficult, especially for us Kenyans. We're also having business now in Somali and Somaliland, Southern Sudan, and also increased collaborations in Ethiopia. But again, at a global perspective, we've seen that our client base is shifting just from the local entities to international companies that are seeking entry into the African region. So we're trying to position ourselves as an African firm of choice for any entity that wants to establish itself in Africa and especially in East and Central Africa. So we want to solidify that presence and our capacities in that area. We want to be more, our clients to have the superior services that they deserve, because in all that, the only person who is very powerful to inform our growth is the clientele. So we have a deliberate strategic goal to just ensure that we firm up our client experience or our client service models, so that they are able to be more, our clients are able to be satisfactory engaged. At the same time, we are looking forward to increase the capacities of our people, which is very critical. That's why I'm asking for BKR online tools for training. We are looking forward to give them more exposure. If there are member firms that require exchange programs in terms of staffs working in other areas and trying to get the global exposure, that will really, really help, because that is very critical to our growth. Staffing remains a very, very critical aspect of any professional firm, and we are not spared also in that particular area.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah.
And it's great to see that I know Peter is going to join the tax meeting on Monday. He's registered for it, so that's good news. And also delighted to see your firm's profile in the worldwide bulletin that came out recently. So always nice to see. Okay, Ronald, I'm going to